military veteran. Okay. Just this past September 11th, Professor Eisenstein held some kind of memorial service in a classroom in CLO that I was encouraged to attend. Now, though he gave a very moving montage of the events and a little bit of a heartfelt thoughts on it, sort of spiraled out of control. He and I had a very one-on-one, I wouldn't call it debate, sort of spiraled into a verbal fight. And I don't necessarily word used, but that's what happened. The whole debate started with him saying that people have forgotten the 9/11 man. Now, so that provoked some questions, so I asked, what do you mean? I spent a year overseas trying to help Muslims, Arabs, whatever category, put the country back together while fighting the radicals at the same time. And then fighting people in my own sphere of social struggle. Okay? That's the context that I get to. He then said, well, you know, in case of 9/11, I think in his words, I think we forgot it because we haven't done enough. I get questioned. What do you mean we haven't done enough? Now, this is the point where it really was a turning point for me, and I realized this guy is ethnic nationalist, for lack of better terms. He suggested that they annihilate Earth. And I'm not saying that those are his specific words. At that point, I lost him. I lost him. I said that is one of the most disrespectful and most hateful things I've ever heard come from somebody that's supposed to be a professor. Now I asked him straight up, okay, tough guy, if you want to annihilate somebody, okay, are you going to leave the fight? I already said that I completely disagree with him. But this is a specific question I asked, are you willing to take a firearm and put a bullet in a human being's head? And shot him. He didn't want to give me an answer. I asked him again, at least 3 times. Now there's actually some people that were sitting in the room, everybody else was quiet. I even held up a class that was supposed to come in, and I guess it was some kind of bad. Worst part, they didn't start spiraling further down. He says, well, started blabbing on. I said, okay, what gives you the right to call on somebody to oppress an entire people? How can you defend your logic? What do you have? I mean, number one, if we're talking about sending me and my comrades overseas to go fight a war that you want, for what reason should I pick up my arms in your name and go defend it? Go defend it against what? Well, he said, I lost people in the Holocaust. I'm dead serious. He used the Holocaust. Yes, I'm very serious. Just like in the newspaper, he's called students protesting an anti-Semite. Anybody read that article yet?
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely. Everybody read that.
Now what defense can a person like that have? That you especially use the word annihilate? And of course, I disagree with annihilating any person or any group of people. Though I was part of an institution that sadly has done that in the past. But what? If you're not even willing to do it yourself, why are you asking somebody else or expecting somebody else to do it? You're not willing to fight. You never have fought. You don't know what war looks like. You don't know what kind of horrors and things that it can produce. So why would you provoke that kind of thing here in the classroom on campus? Why would you try to provoke that kind of hatred? To me, this when we're here is not, it's not just a moot point. It's become personal. When he used the Holocaust, you lost relatives during World War II. I'm Filipino. I lost relatives to the Japanese. Is that any excuse for me to go around hating anybody that's Japanese? No. Thank you. Thank you for answering. But the whole point of what I'm saying here is objectivity is missing. It is perfectly fine for any professor, any student, any teacher to bring up opposing views and try to support it with some kind of logic. But then when you get to a point where you're just spewing out rhetoric, you can't defend it. You can't justify it. And you can't provide any reason why you're even doing it. Well then, when it comes to objectivity, how am I to take you credibly as a professor, as an educator? That is, to me, is what is at question. His right to speech, that's fine, that's great. You have a right to do all you want, but then there comes a point where it becomes abuse.
Your rights end where others begin.
Say that again?
I learned that from a political science teacher that I had in another school before I came here. That was her famous saying, your rights end where another's begin.
So, all the discussion of race and all that kind of stuff, well, think about that every time you take a class, objectivity. There are racist people all around the world, yes, there are challenges in political science and all that kind of great stuff. But then there is a line, and if you cross that line, will you be prepared to defend yourself, or you're just going to let people roll all over you? So, that's what I have to say. Thank you.